Hello everyone, I'm Jessica with Black Travelers Network, where we provide trips that focus on the Black experience in different parts of the world, and we share news stories that impact the African diaspora. For those of you travelers, make sure you check the description box for our affiliate link to World Nomads Travel Insurance Providers. It's one of the more popular travel insurance providers, so don't leave home, don't travel without travel insurance, and World Nomads is one of the more popular travel insurance providers. Today's story is really more of a follow-up. Some time ago, we talked about Uber and how Uber was going to go public, and it may be a good opportunity for those of you who are listening to start thinking about investing in Uber. Well, I hate to say we told you so, but this is not really a I told you so kind of video at this particular moment in time, but we did tell you so. We told you not only that they were about to introduce their IPO, but I also shared with all of you that Uber was going to make their offering somewhere in the $40 to $50 range, of which they did. And so news has now surfaced that as a result of Uber's IPO, and for those of you who don't know, IPO simply means initial public offering, and that's when a company takes their stock public as a way of sort of raising money. And that's when those of us who are, regular people have a real opportunity to invest in these companies. However, it's important to say that typically the people who make the most money when it comes to investing in a company are the folks who are the early investors. And for a number of reasons, there are lots of regulations in the United States that prohibits regular people such as myself, or who tend to be lower income or middle income earners. There are laws in place that oftentimes prohibit us from having access to being able to invest in those types of stocks. Now, they say it's really more for our protection, and I think there's an argument to be made that it is a way of protecting people, but then there's also an argument to be made that it continues to stifle some people's opportunities, because you have to earn a certain amount of money to even have access to the information about companies that you can invest in at the earliest of stages and really see a nice chunk of change or a nice return. But with that being said, Beyonce was 4 years ahead of everybody. According to hiphopdx.com, Beyonce actually invested in Uber 4 years ago as a result of Uber going public and offering their stock price for $45 per share. That move alone took Beyonce's $6 million investment to being worth $9 million. Now, I know there are a lot of people out there who think that she made as much as $300 million off of her early investments in Uber, but that's not the case, according to some research that was done. I just want to say this is very interesting story, and it's good to know that in bringing you the news, it's sort of important that we keep an eye on these opportunities. Now, I cannot stress enough that typically the people who make the most money off of a company's stock is those who are very early investors, because the stock price is valued so low that it automatically goes up for those very early investors once the company takes the stock public. And I'm someone who has used Uber for many years, and I tend to, as my own personal investment strategy, like to invest in companies that I actually use and I believe in their brand or their product because I'm a consumer of it. And so I definitely feel that Uber really spoke to me in general, because from traveling all over the world, Uber is literally worldwide. And so some people would argue at $45 a share that, you know, it's still valued pretty low. And some may argue that it's valued too high. You know, it's the market pretty much decides that. I think the overall point is, no matter what you invest in, always remember that investments, especially in the stock market, should be approached from thinking long term. I'm not a financial expert, not by any stretch of the imagination. I'm simply here to share the news with you. And as we called it, Uber did go public, and they did offer their stock at $45 per share during its opening week. And so, not saying it's going to go up, not saying it's going to go down, but just like with everything dealing with the markets, no one ever really knows. But I just could not pass up the opportunity to share with you that Beyonce definitely capitalized off of the Uber stock investment, but she did it 4 years prior to when we were even able to do it. There's still, for those of you who believe in this stock, an opportunity for you to invest. You should speak to a financial advisor and find out what your best investment options are for both the short term and the long term, for those of you who are into long-term thinking and long-term planning. Drop your comments below. What are you investing in? We'd love to hear. That's it for today, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and thank you for listening.